countryside, city lights, the flavor of your favorite food. Everybody's got something they love to do, so what makes the world?
Okay, now from and within the perspective of the zookeeper, basically we have the male, which he was desiring the female, and changing his personality to fit what the female liked, and the female, which had a desire to have the male adjusted for her own self-interest. So basically, in the animals that taught the man how to attract the female, but from within and as their own resonant point. So basically, this movie is, in totality, about adjusting to one's encoding of and as personality, and how one can somehow create happiness in separation from this point of adjusting to the personality of another. And so basically
he changed, but then they did not end up together. He ended up being with the female zookeeper.
Correct.
Employee, right? And so also the animals, within this movie, I saw that the zookeeper is in fact projecting his emotions on the animals, or maybe the director of this movie, because he directed the whole thing. Because here the animals are given powers to talk to the zookeeper and also to advise him on what to do. And the advice, of course, is from the perspective of the personality of people living in this world, you know. And so, yeah.
Actually, the animals weren't giving the powers, but they were already able to speak, but they hid that point of speaking to people because they thought people were abusive, and they didn't want people to find out and start a reaction, and then specialize them because they speak.
Okay. So the points that I saw here is specifically wanting to change within relationships to please the other person, and within this also see the relationship between how the personality is constructing his personality from the definitions of how one likes the partner to be according to friends, families, values,
Yeah.
and of course the personality's value.
Yeah.
Here you can see that the woman placed value on the kind of job and associated the zookeeper's job as less than the car salesman's job. So what points have you seen here?
Well, basically it's just, how everything has, the personality has been given so much value that is actually the engine of our livelihood. And so how we use personality to drive us into and add certain experiences for us to gain what it is within the experience that we want, that we believe is separate from us, such as the relationships and stuff like that. So, I mean, that movie is a very cool point to point out, how we've given value to personality.
Yeah, and so I would recommend this movie for people to realize what they are participating in, wouldn't you? Rather than just watch the movie to sort of enjoy the weekend with someone, but rather use this movie to see within oneself what one is allowing and accepting within the construction and the designing of one's personality, which is not real. Okay, so my self-forgiveness statement is within manipulating someone. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to manipulate a guy into looking as someone that I defined as acceptable to me and to my friends and family, within asking him to wear clothes that look good to me or that look good to my friends and family, so that he will be accepted within them. And I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to see myself more than men. And I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to perceive me as a woman separate from a man. How about your self-forgiveness?
I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to place a particular personality more than me. And so within that desire, that personality, and change who I am in order to fit the value that I have placed onto and as that personality.
Cool. Anything else?
I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to use animals and to use another personality for and as self-interest to get what I believe I don't have through my desire for another personality.
You reminded me. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to project my emotions to animals. And I forgive myself that I accepted and allowed myself to use animals to earn money from the films and make them look like as if they are humans, and projecting my humanity through my participation within the mind to make money out of this film. And this is taking self-responsibility as the director of this film. Okay, so how did you see self-forgiveness within how you change your views?
How did self-forgiveness change my views?
How did self-forgiveness change your views in life?
Well, in life, in general, self-forgiveness, I am able to be more aware of what I am actually separating and perceiving myself separate from, meaning what have I placed value on as a point that I believe is more than me. What is it that I am using as a point of motivation, basically, instead of realizing that I am the director of who I am as the integrity of how I exist, that I am all of the points that I placed value on because I did not see or I did not practically move me within and as the experience itself. So self-forgiveness, it changed my view of me being more aware of my acceptances and allowances.
Well, self-forgiveness changed my view of life in a way, because before doing self-forgiveness, I was not taking self-responsibility for my own emotions or how I manipulated others. I did not even see I was doing that. When I did self-forgiveness, it made me see the common sense behind taking self-responsibility for whatever emotions or however I manipulated others. And so, yeah, in that way, life becomes manageable and more real, because the personality as we constructed it is not real, because it's based on mind participation. So, taking self-responsibility and stopping the mind within that makes me realize that that personality I constructed anyway is not who I really am. Cool.
Yeah.